What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, March 14th, 2024, and I have another emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 22:40 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Russia and Europe. So, Western officials have reportedly told Foreign Policy, which is a magazine, that they have solid evidence that the Russian military has transferred several units of tactical nuclear weapons into Belarus. Okay, I'll say that again. Western officials now have solid evidence that the Russian military has transferred several units of tactical nuclear weapons into Belarus. Okay, so that means that they are right on the border with Poland and Lithuania and Latvia. This is extremely concerning. Also, that means that they're right on the border with Ukraine. So Russia can now use tactical nuclear weapons on all those countries, the Baltics, Poland, Ukraine, Moldova, and even Romania. They're all within range of these nuclear weapons. And most likely, these are probably the Iskander missiles that have the nuclear warhead attached. The Iskander missiles are basically like an updated version of the Scud missiles. They're a short range ballistic missile, and they are nuclear capable. So this is very, very concerning. Now, we do know that last year, Russia gave Belarus some nuclear weapons, but I think those were mostly air launched nuclear weapons that can be launched from fighter jets. And the Belarusian military was trained on how to use those nuclear weapons with their fighter jets. So this is very, very concerning. Also, Emmanuel Macron had his big interview today on French TV, prime time in France, and he talked about the situation in Ukraine. Some very strong words he said in that interview. I want to update you on that. We also have some breaking news that French military regiments are said to be on their way to Romania now, and they're going to be deploying into Odessa after they get to Romania. Among these regiments is the 2nd Foreign Infantry Regiment. Okay, so France is apparently deploying their forces into Romania now so they could be deployed to Odessa. And I reported earlier today that Emmanuel Macron, the president of France, said in an event at the Elysee Palace on February 21st that he should send some guys to Odessa. Okay, he said it just casually in a conversation. So I want to just show you guys what we have going on over the U.S. right now at this hour. We currently have a nuclear war command and control plane in the air over Washington State. But what's most interesting is this P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter off the coast of Chincoteague in Virginia. Okay, this is the Assateague Island area of Virginia and Maryland. Okay, and there has been some reports that there's a Russian sub or several Russian subs operating in this area over the last few days. Last night, there was an RQ-4 Global Hawk patrolling this area, and now we have this P-8 Poseidon sub hunter looping in the same area. So this is extremely concerning, guys. Okay, this is not something that is very common. Okay, we haven't seen Russian subs patrolling our coasts like this in a while. So very, very concerning news. We also have a lot of activity near Taiwan today. Here we have a U.S. reconnaissance plane patrolling the Taiwan Strait. Look at this, guys. You see this blue line here? That's the flight path of a U.S. RC-135 rivet joint going along the southern part of the Taiwan Strait. Okay, so the U.S. is monitoring Taiwan very, very closely. And here we have a massive amount of U.S. Army reconnaissance planes patrolling near the DMZ in Korea. Okay, you can see one right here going back and forth near the border with North Korea, the western part of Korea here. And then you see some other ones over here. Okay, so this is extremely concerning to see all this reconnaissance activity in South Korea. And this is the wild card, guys. Okay, this is the wild card. Putin and Xi Jinping could tell Kim Jong-un that he has to attack South Korea at some point to open up another front, okay, for America, give us something to deal with, all right? And I think that's what's going to happen. I think Xi Jinping and Putin are going to pressure Kim Jong-un to launch artillery at South Korea. I don't think it's going to be a full-scale attack or full-scale invasion. I think it's going to be kind of similar to like what Hezbollah has been doing to Israel, just bombarding South Korea with artillery, okay, on a daily basis. That I think that's what we could see, and that would be enough for us to have to deploy forces here and give us something to worry about. In the meantime, China could plan their attack on Taiwan, and Russia could plan their attack on NATO, okay, on Sweden and Poland and the Baltic countries. Want to just read to you the main points from tonight's interview with Emmanuel Macron on French TV. His interview aired on France 2 and TF1. This update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply has brought back their 25% discount on their 3-month emergency food supply. And to get the discount, you got to use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com. And the link is in the description below this video. But this 3-month emergency food supply has a 25-year shelf life. It includes over 2,000 calories per day. Breakfasts, lunches, dinners, drinks, and snacks, all contained within 6 rugged water-resistant buckets, and free shipping is included. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get $200 off or 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply. The link is in the description below this video. Free shipping is included. They also have a general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running various discounts. And to get to their general store, you just got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo when you get to preparewithNYPrepper.com at the top of the page, and you'll see their general store where they sell all kinds of prepping and survival products, and they're always running discounts here. So use the link preparewithNYPrepper.com to get 25% off of the My Patriot Supply 3-month emergency food supply, and the link is in the description below this video. He called for a surge in the face of an existential threat, saying that Russia would not stop in Ukraine. A Russian victory in Ukraine would reduce Europe's credibility to zero and would mean that we have no security. We will do whatever it takes to achieve our goal. All options are possible, including sending troops to Ukraine. Wow, guys, that is exactly what he said tonight. Okay, we will do whatever it takes to achieve our goal. All options are possible, including sending troops to Ukraine. There will be no lasting peace without sovereignty and a return to Ukraine's internationally recognized borders, including Crimea. So he's saying there will be no peace in Europe until Crimea is returned to Ukraine. To decide to be weak today already means to suffer defeat. That's what he said. I'll say that again. To decide to be weak today already means to suffer defeat. Wow, guys, very strong words here from Macron. Today, to have peace in Ukraine, we must not be weak. If the situation should deteriorate, we would be ready to make sure that Russia never wins that war. Let me say that again. He said if the situation should deteriorate, we would be ready to make sure that Russia never wins that war. Okay, so what he's saying is that if the Ukrainian front lines collapse because they've run out of equipment, like they're running out of equipment now, if the Ukrainian lines collapse and Russia pushes towards the capital or pushes towards Odessa, He's saying that they would be ready to make sure that Russia doesn't do that. And basically, that means sending French troops in there. Okay. Those who say let's not support Ukraine do not make the choice of peace, they make the choice of defeat. Our nuclear capacity provides security to France. So he's saying that they have a nuclear deterrent, so he's not concerned about France getting blown up by Russian nukes because France has their own nukes. And France actually does have a very impressive nuclear arsenal. They have 4 Triumphant class ballistic missile submarines with the M51 ballistic missiles, and each one of those missiles can launch several warheads. And I think each Triumphant class submarine can carry like 16 or 18 of those missiles. So just in those 4 submarines that they have, they can launch hundreds and hundreds of warheads at Russia. And then they also have long range cruise missiles that they can fire from fighter jets and various aircraft. Russia cannot and should not win this war. Russia has become a power that wants to expand, and it's clear that it will not stop there. If we abandon Ukraine, if we let Ukraine lose the war, Russia will surely threaten Moldova, Romania, and Poland. Wow, guys, that is just absolutely crazy. Very, very strong words. And I want to read to you what he posted here on Twitter this evening. He wrote, in response to somebody's question, he wrote very clearly, "We are not at war with Russia. France is a force for peace, which is not and will never be in escalation. What I said is that vis-a-vis our allies and our European partners, vis-a-vis history too, we have a responsibility that of being a strong and ready France to adapt to the choices that Russia would make. This is why it is necessary not to immediately set limits for ourselves in the face of an enemy who does not set any limits. Wanting peace does not mean choosing defeat or letting Ukraine down. I don't want that." Very strong words there, guys. Very, very strong. Okay, so it looks like Macron is spearheading, this support for Ukraine now. Okay, and Russian Telegram channels have reported that Ukrainian forces have landed a helicopter in the Belgorod Oblast in Russia, in the town of Kozinka, and there's fierce fighting underway. And the Russian partisans are still fighting in Russia, guys. They have not been stopped by the Russian military, and these partisans have warned civilians to get out, okay, because they're going to start fighting against the Russian military inside of Russia in the coming days, and it's going to really escalate over the weekend when voting starts in the Russian presidential election, essentially Putin's re-election, okay, because it's not a true election. Putin just re-elects himself, okay? These Russian partisans are causing all kinds of chaos in Russia, and the Russian government has already warned anybody from protesting against the election and against Putin. They've already warned that you cannot protest. So we'll have to wait and see if any of the Navalny supporters come out as well. In addition to the partisans causing chaos, you may have Navalny supporters come out, because apparently Navalny's widow called for people to take to the streets. Okay, and here we have some footage of some gun battles going on in southwestern Russia. This was earlier today. So absolutely crazy situation, and it's still ongoing right now. And the commander of U.S. Northern Command and NORAD, General Gregory M. Guillot, told lawmakers yesterday that during the first week of March, several Tu-95 Russian strategic bombers were detected and tracked as they crossed through the GI-UK gap between Greenland and the UK. towards the US and Canadian airspace, with this being the first time that Russian bombers have taken this route in over 2 years. Okay, so this is the little gap. It's actually a big gap between Greenland and Iceland and the UK. They flew through that gap and then they went towards North America. Okay, and Reuters is reporting that NATO allies have warned Hungary of the dangers of its close and expanding relationship with Russia. And if this is Budapest's policy choice, we will have to decide how best to protect our security interests, the U.S. envoy to Hungary said on Thursday. Wow. So they may kick Hungary out of NATO and potentially out of the EU. And the Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, stated earlier in regards to the ceasefire talks in Gaza that Hamas is continuing to hold unrealistic demands, and an update on the deal will be submitted to the War Cabinet and the Security Cabinet tomorrow for a vote. And a man was shot in the head in a New York City subway today, and there's a mass casualty incident declared at Indian Lake, Ohio, after a violent tornado moved through the area. Reports of multiple building collapses and people trapped. And there's no end in sight to the chaos in Haiti, as the most powerful gang leader in Haiti, Barbecue, vows to continue to fight, as the country currently has no president, no prime minister, and no government. And he was supposed to stop fighting after the current prime minister resigned, which he already did. But it's clear that Barbecue wants to run the country, okay? So, very concerning situation, guys. Haiti has basically descended into total lawlessness, okay? This is very, very serious. This is right next to our country, guys, okay? So that's the latest breaking news that I have. I will be back tomorrow with more breaking news. So until then, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere. Guys, if you want to learn about some of the most infamous terrorist leaders in the Middle East, you got to check out Gaza's Most Wanted. They have these playing cards and shooting range targets with all the most infamous terrorists printed on them. So this way you can learn what they look like and who they are while playing a game of poker or while having fun at the range practicing your skills. 10% of proceeds are donated to support the Israeli Defense Forces. So check them out, gazasmostwanted.com. And if you use the promo code NYPrepper, you get 5% off of your entire order. So I'm going to leave a link and the promo code in the description below this video.